Welcome to the Local Marketing Source Weekly Update, brought to you by localmarketingsource.com. This update is taken from the Local Marketing Source Professional Development Program for local marketers.
This week's Local Marketing Update is brought to you by Scott Gallagher. Scott is the co-founder of Local Marketing Source and has become the recognized expert in providing online marketing services to local businesses. Follow Scott on Twitter at ScottGallagher5 and on Facebook.com/ScottPGallagher.
Hey guys, Scott Gallagher here with Local Marketing Source, and today we've got an excellent webinar. I hope you had an opportunity to enjoy that song. If you've ever heard of Fiverr before, I got that song made for $5. I gave the guy a little bit of lyrics and a little bit of fun. You know, that's what we're here for, to have a little bit of fun, right? Well, anyhow, just as I'm getting started here, I can see a lot of people on the line here. We got a very busy webinar. I'm really stoked for this webinar here. This is something people have been asking for a long time on the public side of it. Of course, this is stuff that we provide on the membership. So I'm stoked to get this going. But just before I get going, I'd like to know where you guys are. So why don't you just type into the chat box? We're using GoToWebinar software here. You can type questions in at any time during the webinar. I'm going to ask questions at the end. But I'm a world traveler, and I'd like to know where you guys are all at before we get going. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. And so what do we got? We got Washington, D.C., Tessa over here. And wow, I can't even say this name. Tobechi from Nigeria. Jackie, thank you for waking up in Australia. I have a sister that lives in Australia, in Melbourne. Awesome, awesome, awesome country. Just love it there. And Jamie, estimated length, Jamie, we're going to run about an hour. Questions usually run after that. Dave, wow, Dave, buddy, Ottawa, the Senators, man. I'm rooting for them. I live in Chicago, Canadian, big hockey fan, but man, oh man, am I ever rooting for those Sens. And what an exciting game last night. I don't know what the heck why they didn't blow them out. But anyhow, you know, Mindy from Indian Atlantic, never heard of that. Atlanta from Ronnie. Tim, beautiful state up in Alaska. Jamie, Edmonton, man, another Canuck, love it. Indianapolis from Tim. Oh, that's that shitty state right now. You guys aren't. your governor's not very well liked. Tom from Rock Hill. Tim, hockey is the best sport. Tim, you're my new friend. You're right, man. I love hockey. You know, a couple of weeks ago, my son's 9 years old, hockey player, just had a chance to play with the Chicago Blackhawks in the United Center, and it was pretty awesome there. You know, just some good times. But anyhow, I could spend a lot of time talking about passions, and really that's why I work. I mean, I love what I do. I think that's really important. But I work so I can enjoy life. And, you know, just to tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. I'm a dad. That's what I am, number one. You can see a picture of my boy over there on the right. I have, oh my God, a 17-year-old daughter. But I like to travel. I've got a couple of different businesses, and I say I'm an adrenalinist. I like to snowboard. I like to be outside. I like to build stuff and you know, get out there. I did spend a lot of money on college, or in Canada we call university. Got myself a Bachelor of Commerce in 2005. I moved to the United States with nothing but a car, a suitcase, and a little bit of money, and of course my amazing dog, Vegas. And then from there, that's when I started my serial entrepreneurship. Well, I founded One Marketing. That's my agency that provides marketing services to local businesses. We'll talk a little bit about that. But NapaRex, it's a company, a national delivery company that was founded in 2009. And of course, you're all here because of Local Marketing Source. And LMS is my passion. My passion in business is teaching. I've got some amazing students that have gone on to build businesses bigger than mine, which is just amazing to see and to watch and to be a part of it. And it's really, really cool. So with the teaching and whatnot, I do a lot of writing. I've got a published book that's out there, and I do a lot of speaking engagements. And, you know, that's a lot of my fun. But let's look at what we are going to talk about today. All right, my goal is by the end of this presentation, to give you guys an overview. Now, the fact is I teach this. Uh, I've got I got my degree 14 years ago in marketing. I got a specialty in e-marketing or e-commerce, sorry, and specialized in marketing with my Bachelor of Commerce. Started my entrepreneur career in 2005, so that's 10 years ago. So I've got 15 years of experience, almost 20 years of business-to-business sales experience, and I'm still learning every day. So I can't teach you guys everything inside an hour. What I'm going to do today is give you a very high-level overview with step-by-steps. Each of those individual steps, you may have to do some interpretation, but you'll get an understanding of that. So first thing, I'm just going to do a quick overview of the 3 pillars of local search. I've got video content on specifically each pillar alone. So I'm going to fly through 3 hours worth of content in 10 minutes initially, just to give you an overview of our flair. Then we're going to get into the reason why you guys are here. That's new client implementation. We're going to look at overviews and plans for specific clients and local businesses, the different documents that I use inside my agency and the templates that we use in the checklist. You're going to be able to see all this stuff. And then, of course, the step-by-step, what you do, first month, boom, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then after we go through all of that, I'm going to share with you guys a free course opportunity I've got. I'll give you a link where you can sign up to a free course. I'm also going to tell you about the Local Marketing Source membership that we have. You can jump off the line if you want at that point in time. Yes, that's my sales pitch. But like anything in business, I really hope that in the next 50 minutes, I'm going to give you guys some content that you're very, very happy that you've given me an hour of your time. Because an hour of your time to me is much more valuable than money. You can go and get more money, but you can't get that hour back. Our time is ridiculously important. So I'm trying to value your time right now and give you guys some content. And of course, a link for some downloads. All right, so the 3 pillars of local search that we teach and focus in on at Local Marketing Source are profiles. These are going to be, well, a lot of people will call them citations, but citations are merely web references. When I talk about citations, you'll see how I mean differently, but these are going to be all the different profile sites that are out there. The Yelps of the world, the Googles, Facebook, Angie's List, Judy's Book, et cetera, et cetera. The second pillar is citations. These are web references. Now, there's a whole misunderstanding of what a citation really is, or the difference between a citation and a link. All a citation is a web reference. And we're not looking for quantity, but when I start teaching aspects of citations, I'm going to give you a list of a variety of different citations in a moment to get a look at. But we really think outside the box. And then, of course, reviews are extremely important. And just talk a little bit about that. So real quickly here, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on profiles, just 2 minutes here. But when I talk about profiles, these are the types of profiles. We got them broken into 3 different groups. We've got major search engines, major data providers, and secondary data providers. This is a list of a small list of major search engines. We got 4 in here. There are really others that fall into that category as well. But just to give you an example of major data providers. Some of these are the United States, like Info USA, obviously, and Axiom, of course, is a US-based database. So for our Aussie attendees, this is not going to apply, nor for Canadian customers. But again, for major data providers in every country, there could be a list of 30 or 40 different types of data providers. And just to give an example of secondary data providers. So these are all your profiles, and that's 1/3 of what we do to get. I'll show you how it all works out and rolls out in a moment, but I just need you to have an understanding of what citations are. So going quickly ahead here. Now, citations and links, as I mentioned, are just like a web reference. There's 1,001 different places you can get your business listed, and every place that you get listed is trust and authority. I'm going to share a quick little story here. I was at an internet marketing convention, probably a year ago, and everybody's talking about this great new presentation that everybody should get to and everybody could watch. And I think, okay, well, let me read about it. And they start talking about these avatars, and I think, holy shit, what are avatars? I've been in this business and I teach, and I don't even know what an avatar is. I probably should go and listen. And I sit down about all this new stuff, and everybody's all excited, and Start listening to it 10 minutes into it, and I'm start scratching my head, and I'm thinking, am I an idiot? Or are they just talking about customer segmentation? Really, what they were describing were avatars was, let's talk as if we're the business itself. You identify your prospects, your ideal customers, your ideal students or patients or whatever you want to call them, and you put them into groups. And well, shit, that's just customer segmentation. That's marketing 101. We learned that first year in marketing 15 years ago. This is standard. This is stuff that they've been doing in marketing for 30, 40, 50, hundreds of years. And now my industry, the internet marketing industry, thinks this is, the new way that you should be doing. Wait a minute. Search engine optimization from the get-go is marketing. And you're trying to tell me that now all of a sudden you've just figured out that in order to start, you should probably segment your audience? You kidding me? I deal with chiropractors mostly over at chiroseowellness.com. That's my agency. Now, in the chiropractor world, you've got a chiropractor that comes out of school, let's say, Palmer School, and they're a Christian, and they believe that every time they provide an adjustment to a patient, that they're injecting that patient with the flow lava of Jesus Christ. Then you've got another chiropractor that graduates from the exact same school and is on the other side of the spectrum and says, we're all quacks, but I'm gonna write you guys prescriptions for medicine. So you've got two chiropractors on each end of the spectrum, one that injects the flow of Jesus Christ and the other one that says, take drugs. Most chiropractors fall in the middle. But the fact of the matter is if I'm marketing these two chiropractors, I'm going to use different messaging. Of course I'm going to use different messaging because each of these two chiropractors are going to attract an extremely different audience. So if I hadn't segmented my audience group initially, how am I supposed to create content to get publications for Citations? I'm talking about getting publications in the local newspaper. We have stuff published in chiropractic journals, in medical journals. We just had something published in a dentist journal for one of our dental clients. And the topic was so simple. It was gluten-free toothpaste. We wrote it internally. We put the doctor's name on it. This doctor gets published in the Medical Journal of Dentistry, the American Medical Journal of Dentistry. Holy crap. Do you think that my client as a dentist is going to get authority because she wrote an article that's published by a medical journal? Holy cow. That's way better than getting published in articles and article sites and all this other stuff that goes out there. The point is let's take a look at some quick citations here. I'm not going to go through these guys. I've got content that spends hours of focusing in on some of these, but just to point out some, I'm going to pull up my pen here. Like these ones down here are far often missed, our local directories, and find them. When we start to look at the plans, I'll show you how, like this guy here. Other things that are missed are simple things like this. This is a government website, and if your building is more than 50 years old, you can get listed on that site. It's a government site. We're just trying to think outside of the box here in terms to get legitimate citations. Business magazines are so easy to get in, and they're often missed. Broadcasting a webcam. You believe it or not, if you've put a webcam into a doctor's office, that has tremendous authority because you're now engaging with an audience. Well, what is marketing? It's engaging with an audience. You're now bringing visual aspects real time to an audience engagement that you can feed real time through your social media channels. You're going to get massive authority through that. Who else is talking about this in terms of how to get businesses to the top of Google? You guys see something here? Most people teach the steps of getting to the top of Google as a systematic mathematical approach. The algorithm is a mathematical equation. So let's reverse engineer that equation and then feed that equation everything that we want. Do you know that on April 21st of this year is going to be the biggest algorithmic update in the history of Google? The biggest update to this date has affected 12% of websites, and that was with the Panda update. This website on April 21st is one of the very first times that Google has ever proactively announced updates. And number two, has also indicated that this is their biggest update that's going to affect 20% of websites. If If you don't know what's going on with that, all right, I'm getting passionate. Let me move on here. Let me move on. Why can't we move on? What's going on with my... How come I can't change slides? There must have been some animation in there that I didn't know about. Apologies. I haven't lost anybody, so hopefully that means content is good. And the third pillar is reviews. The best form of marketing is what? It always has been, and ever since, and until I'm dead, it's always going to be, at least. And that's word of mouth. You can't get better forms of marketing than word of mouth marketing. Simple as that. What is word of mouth marketing? It's organic marketing. You can't buy word of mouth advertising. You can engage an audience and help them to do that a little bit further. So what really are reviews and testimonials? There's a digital form of word of mouth marketing, and far too often is this strategy highly, highly abused. The solicitation of reviews is a big no-no. I don't care who you are or what you do for your clients or your local business. Do not solicit reviews. Do not solicit reviews. Plain and simple. I am going to talk briefly, and we implement with our clients something called a review acquisition strategy. It is, I love the strategy. We are getting a massive amounts of reviews. We're not soliciting reviews. We're leveraging the top influencers. When I talk about profiles and whatnot and reviews, there's client influencers is a term that we utilize internally, identify those client influencers. And those are the ones that are going to get reviews that stick and actually influence the authority of each of those profiles. So there's quite a strategy that goes along with reviews as well. Here's a link to download our review acquisition strategy. You can implement this strategy. It's just a document. I'm trying to get over quick here because I want to get to the real steps that you guys are on the line for. But this document here is just going to give you an overview of what they are and the value of them and all the different stuff. Write this down. I'll give you 15 seconds. bit.ly/RAS_LMS. Free download. Get that document. You can take that document, rebrand that document, put your logo on it, give it to your customers. I don't care. Put your name on it. I don't care. We've just been testing. Okay, with the review acquisition strategy, just real quickly here, these are postcards that we create. We got PSD files. Those are Photoshop files. That's just plug and play. You plug the client information in, the client logo, you get them printed, and then they sit at the front desk. And when a patient or a customer or whatnot says, "Oh my God, I'm so happy with you guys. You guys did a great job." Well, at that point in time, you ask them if they're willing to digitize their message. You're not saying, "Hey, go leave me a review." You're saying, "Hey, you just told me, you just gave me a review. I'd like to tell other people on the internet. Do you mind putting that on the internet?" Well, that's really what the card is doing here. At the same time, you're able to capture the email address, put the client, the prospect, into an email autoresponder. The autoresponder sends out the links that say, "Hey, if you'd like to leave a review on Yelp, click here." Boom. The last thing you want to do is you don't want to have a POS system inside the office to leave a review. You want people to leave reviews while signed in or at home. But anyhow, you can download that review acquisition strategy. I'm giving you guys for free. Yeah, let me know. All right, let's get into client implementation now. It was just a quick overview of everything. I want to see if there's any questions. We got some people that have typed some stuff. Sophie's asking to display the link. Can you repost the link for the download? There's the link, guys. Let me see. I'm watching my clock here. It's at 4:15, 16, 18, 4:20. All right, I'm going to move on. Hopefully you guys got it. Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, for client implementation, we're going to look at these things today. We're going to look at different documents and templates first. Then we're going to look at the tools that are used, and then the first month setup. That's the step-by-step and actions and how to do it. Now that you've got a little bit of an overview and some of our philosophies. So of the documents that we're going to look at today, here's the, well, how many do I have here? We typically work with 4 documents, but I've got the plan as well, so that brings up the 6, and then the Photoshop, so that's 7. But we're going to look at each of these documents, the inventory of assets, and that's just a complete document identifying all the marketing material that's owned by the client. We're going to look at the business profile template. That's just a document template to make sure that we're getting all the pertinent information to complete these profiles that we were talking about. We took a quick look at the Photoshop, the review cards. So we'll quickly go over that one. The annual SEO plan. This is a 1-year plan that we give our clients when they sign up with us. It's a 20 or a 30-page document. It's more of just a plug and play. We just replace the client name, and there's a few things in there that change. But I'm going to show you that document. That's really more of a perception document. The quarterly SEO execution plan that we give the client that we're going to show you is the absolute detailed. We're going to create 15 citations this month. We're going to get 1 local publication, 1 theme publication, one local blog publication, 1 press release, and these are the exact sites that we're going to get this exposure in. 1 video. That's the quarterly execution plan that you're going to see. And then, of course, the citation acquisition checklist. That's when you're getting your citations. This is going to be a checklist to make sure that you're doing everything properly that we're going to look at it. And then, of course, the new client checklist. And that's the step-by-step. Install this. Make sure they have this. Okay? So let's look at some of these documents. Oh, before we look at some of those documents, I just wanted to talk about the importance of organization. And here, what I'm showing you is the structure that we use internally for our client directories. And so, in one directory, I've got all my templates that we use right here. These are all my templates that we use internally inside of our agency. We're going to be looking at all the templates inside of SEO only. And this folder template right here is just a directory structure that we have set up. I can't tell you how many times I have seen these mistakes made. There's a quote from Abraham Lincoln, and Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. Guys, this is one of the bigger mistakes that I see entrepreneurs and business people make is failure to plan. And failure to plan is basically planning to fail. This is a piece of it right here that you want to structure yourself and set yourself up properly when you're able to go and grab information. So I just wanted to show you this here. But we're going to look at some documents here. This document is the inventory of assets. And I'm going to go pull that up in Excel in a moment. And this one here is the business profile. So let's go and look at the inventory of assets. This here is an Excel file. This is the template that's not filled out for any clients right now that we would fill out for an inventory of assets to start off. And you can see this is the place that we go to get information about everything about that client. So all their website information, and here we put username and password information, their domains, any WordPress stuff, their hosting information they've got, any location. This is where their naps are going to go. Their email addresses that they're currently using, and usernames and passwords and whatnot. When we click on the profile tab over here, here's a list of all of the different profiles. These are standardized profiles. We don't have any industry profiles in here. You'll see that we'll put those in a moment. But you can see for Google, let me zoom in a little bit. Google Places or Google Plus, the username and password, any notes, the date that we have it claimed, and the URL, the location to it. So this is a pretty complex document that as we start to fill out for the client, everything is right here. You can click on the social tab. Here's all their different social profiles with usernames and passwords and URLs for all the different officers or salespeople that are involved in the company. We inventory all their videos. So every single video that's ever created is listed on here with access, articles, press releases, blog content. Every piece of blog content is documented. Public sources that we find when we do NAP searches and whatnot. So that's this is the inventory of assets document that we use internally. The other document is the profile. So this is our business profile template that we would fill out for every new client and make sure we've got information, the business name, the location, the accurate phone number, the address, emails, their hours of operation, when they're founded. This is the type of information that all the profile sites are ultimately asking for. And like I said, just this right here, all the do's and the don'ts, we have over an hour of education just on business profiles in this one document right here. You know, what's the best way to fill out a description? You know, people talk about keyword stuffing. We definitely don't talk about that. But how are you going to create a description, and what are optimal description lengths and whatnot? You know, keyword research, man. That's God. I hate the way people teach how to do keyword research. But anyhow, here's your business profile. Once this is filled out, I have my project managers actually print this up, and anytime that they're working on a client, this is sitting right beside them. So we actually have physical files for our clients as well, not just digital files. And we keep this stuff physical. I find that it really helps. I should have fixed my displays. Why is this doing this? So these are these two documents, inventory of assets and business profile. And you'll see how these documents come into play in a moment. Now we're going to look at the two different plans. And if you remember, I mentioned to you that there was an annual plan that's more of just a search and replace. It's a big document. And then the quarterly plan, which is just 3 months out. So we're going to quickly take a look at these right now. Let's go and look at the annual plan first. I thought that I could right click and it would show me the documents that are open. So this is you see, we would just replace ABC Company with the client name. And then in this document here, all the text that's in purple is the responsibility of One Marketing of the agency. All the text in orange is the responsibility of the client. So this is an outline that identifies what the client is responsible for. Here we talk about the different profiles. So you can see I've got it broken into online assets that we're going to look at, offline assets for the client, online campaigns, and offline campaigns. So within the online assets that we're going to acquire for this client over the course of the year are different personal profiles for the top officers on these sites, local profiles for the business. These are some of the local search engines, some of the social local profiles, online properties. You see, we got some stuff in purple here. One Marketing is going to do this, this, and this for the client. Your client's website, you know, we're going to do this and this. We're going to update the website in this way for this service, you know, for the blog. This is what we're going to do. Offline assets, you know, that are important in the recommendations. The Chamber of Commerce. Here, you know, we're saying this client here, we're making a recommendation that they should join this chamber so we can get content. Associations. I'm going to show you a list of associations and how we do research for associations. But we give recommendations on the associations that they should sign for political reasons, because we want to get content published in associations. Different networking groups as well, we'll give recommendations for. Different publications, you're going to see a list of these different publications. And you can see that this plan, I'm not going to go into details of this, but this plan is given to the client, and it just really spells everything out in simplest forms. Who's responsible for what, and it identifies expectations, what we're going to set up. Google Analytics, everything. So I don't give this out in the proposal. And if somebody wants this, I'll charge $125 to give it to them in the proposal. Then I'll apply that $125 to their service if they want this. There's really not a lot of value to this. This takes me 15 minutes to get done for each client once we're done. Okay, so this is a quarterly plan here now. This is this plan right here. This is the bread and butter. So every 3 months, this is going to identify what we're going to do for 3 months. Now, when we talked about in the annual plan, we talked about different local and industry publications. Here's the research that we've done for this client of all the local and industry publications that we are going to get content published into. Different taxi magazines. This is a delivery company, and chauffeur, because they're Chicago, and but there's a list of the publications, and in the annual plan, the content will be associated to that. Industry blogs now and forums. We did all the research on that, and these are a variety of different blogs that we can get content published on. There are sort of taxi blogs or transportation and industry. Different associations the client is not a part of that we want to look into and get content published on. We made recommendations to join different groups. And we create content topic whiteboards. And so this is 3 months worth of content that's going to be created that based off of their audience segment groups. And we have a whiteboard session with the client to come up with what type of content over the next 3 months is going to be most valuable for their audience. We throw ideas down, they throw ideas down, and we come out with a list as a part of our plan. So we know exactly where we're going. It's kind of neat here for content. We're doing surveys for this client here, and you'd be amazed at the content that we're able to derive and create based off the surveys for the industry. We've actually had content published in a national taxi magazine, national mainstream media. I think it was, what was it? What newspaper? I don't remember. But it was a comparative because this is a relatively large local taxi company in Chicago it was something to do with Uber. But you'd be surprised how easy it is. And then, so once you've got all of what is with this quarterly plan, this is the execution for this client here. I have a whiteboard in my operations department that's got all of our clients. That all this stuff here is translated to the whiteboard, so my project managers can see that and what's going on. But depending on, when I sit down as a lead manager for each client, I look at number 1, the results. Number 2, I look at the project manager's activity, and I compare it to the plan. And me as a manager, I'm able to change the plan for my project managers, and they work off of this. And in this case here, for this client, every single month, we will create 1 blog post for them. We're doing 4 articles a month that's going to be distributed to 1 industry publications, 2 industry blogs, 2 on their blog, and 1 just a general article site. We propagate it through social channels. This client here is requiring 15 new citations or profiles per month. And we manage that in the inventory of assets. Now, I mandate my project managers to be responsible for reviews. I want to see at least 8 new reviews for this taxi company every single month. I hold my project managers responsible. Now, there's ways to do all that. We're not here for that today. Social propagation. The client is going to get monthly reports on their ranking activity. They're going to get a monthly report on reviews, and they're going to get a monthly report on what we did specifically for the activity. They can view their traffic in Google Analytics, and we give them 1 monthly meeting. And that's it. There's $1,500 a month right there. Every quarter, we add this. We ask that they provide a small charitable donation, and that they budget $100 a quarter for that they offer one giveaway or a deal. And then every quarter, on top of the monthly press releases, we're going to do 2 additional quarterly press releases, 1 video and 1 article about a staff member. And here's just some content for one of my project managers, it's copied and pasting. So that's the quarterly plan for the clients. Let's move on. I know there's a lot here, guys, but I promised to go through this inside of 1 hour, and I'm now 1 hour 38 minutes into it. Okay, so now we're looking at the new client implementation and the citation acquisition checklist. Let's look at the citation acquisition checklist first. Okay. What did I say we were going to look at? We're going to look at the citation acquisition checklist. There we go. I had it opened. I apologize. No, that's not it. I didn't get the document in here. All right, well, it's not that big of important of a document. This is the important document, but just real quickly here. Just the citation acquisition checklist. This is the whole document right here. It's just every time you see, I have project managers, and then I have people that are going and inquiring citations. Citations are just a really small piece of everything. So this is just the checklist here for acquiring a citation. You know, how are they doing searches for it to make sure that, you know, how do they find duplicate listings? That's the first thing that they do. You know, then they go to add business listing, then create an account, and, you know, verify the account. And then each verification, you know, whether it's Bing or Yelp or whatnot, has got, you know, we've got here, where is it? My templates. So we have a list here of all the different, like to claim a Bing listing. You know, if my project manager's having a problem claiming CityGrid, this is what we've learned as to, you know, what they're looking for specifically CityGrid, or if we were concerned about, you know, Bing. Bing has got some unique aspects to it in a way that they verify it, but other than that, I mean, getting listings are relatively straightforward. I really wish I didn't have this dual display. Maybe I'll just unplug my, I wonder what would happen if I unplug my dual display right now. But that's that checklist document. I apologize I didn't have that. Now we're going to take a look at this document right here. And this is why you guys are here. This document right here. This one right here. This is what my project managers go through to make sure that every client in the very first 30 days, this is what I want my project manager to complete for a new client in the first 30 days. They complete the annual plan templates. I showed you that. I said that was about 15 minutes worth of time. They complete the quarterly execution plan. That takes my project manager about 2 hours worth of time, but they get that done. Then they complete the OTP. We call those are the on-the-page factors. So they put together another document called the website white paper document. It's not a document I'm showing you right now, but it just goes through all of the on-the-page factors to make adjustments to titles, H1 tags, linking, all that stuff. On their website, they've got to install Google Webmaster Tools, at least Google Analytics, and if applicable, any call tracking. We use CallRail for call tracking. The next thing, the business profile template completed. I showed you that template, and with that template alone, there's best practices in a document that go along with the best practices to make sure it's set up. I just threw a couple of bullet points here to show you what things are important. Gather at least 5 images, and the images that we gather are, high quality images. And we have the 5 images that we capture on the list, for example, are going to be, outside, the doctor's face, inside office, and possibly some equipment. Set up their email address. The next step is we go through the client inventory of assets process. This process here takes my project managers anywhere from 2 to 8 hours to go through. It's a big job, really big job, to go and find everything that's on the internet. The truth is, this is the biggest mistake I see people doing. I'll take on new client accounts all the time, and there's just so much duplicate garbage stuff that's out there. It's incredible. And you can't fix that unless you do this process right here. But, they go through the process of the inventory of assets. We talk about the different profiles and stuff. We set the client up, their social channels. We also set them up in Hootsuite so we can propagate properly. And, for the citation acquisition in the first month, that was pillar number 1. These are the citations that they have to get in the first month. It's relatively obvious, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn. And we talk a little bit about each of those places right here for citation acquisitions. Video, we want to make sure that they have a YouTube account. This is not for everybody. This should not be in this document right here because we don't need a Flickr account, but every business needs a YouTube account. These are the social channels that need to be set up in the first month. Their blog, if they don't have a blog, we'll create one or go and create one on Blogger or some local site. And then finally, create and order the review cards. This is also the review acquisition strategy that we talk about. So that's also implementing, their email autoresponder and all that stuff. And again, this here is probably a 3-hour job. So you can see there's quite a bit in the first month that we'll do for a client. Every month after that, I'm going to go over some more of that stuff I just did, guys. I realized in a little more detail here. And then finally, the tools that we use. We use BrightLocal internally. Here's the thing of BrightLocal. BrightLocal allows us for citation management, review tracking, and we utilize citation burst. So I pay anywhere from $3 to $10 per citation for the clients and then the tracking. So I'm just going to quickly show you that as well. If you haven't used that tool before, I got a dummy account here with some data in it that I'm going to log into. I thought I was logged in. I guess they logged me out. And so, this software here does, rank checkers, so we can get, all of our ranking reports here that we can see. And then, but I wanted to show you the citation management of it. Now, this is not the end all, the be all. Okay, I want to make this perfectly clear that what we can do is we can go and we bought Citations. Oh, we can't view that one. So BrightLocal here, I pay $3 for them to go and acquire the citations. And they're pretty good at acquiring this list, and I could utilize this software here to manage citations in terms of whether it's live, when it was submitted, the authority that goes along with it, what type of directory that it is. But this only gives it to me so far. This is only about half of my citation management. The other half of the citation management is entirely manual because I'm telling you, this is just generalized software. It's not software that understands segments. It doesn't understand niches very well. It doesn't understand geographical regioning very well. And there's an art that makes me better than what any software can do. So half of on that one pillar of profiles, my project manager will spend half of their citation time in here, the other half, and this information here is transposed over to here where we manage it. But you will find when we go to the quarterly plan, where my quarterly plan is right here, that these are also citations, right? You'd be amazed that, I mean, these are the high authority ones, like the Chicago Tribune. You know, BrightLocal is not going to tell me how to get listed there. I would take that listing over 15 that BrightLocal would give me any day of the week. You know, industry blogs and whatnot, these types of exposures, BrightLocal is just not going to have you find. So that's why we've got to do both, and BrightLocal is just not going to do it. So there's that tool. Okay. Now, I showed you guys this document relatively quick. I'm just going to go through it on a couple of slides here. Once again, I apologize. I had transposed it. But this is why you're here. So, you know, for every month, what we look at is we complete the annual plan that I showed you. That's the 26-page document, about 15 minutes. The quarterly plan, about 2 hours. The on-the-page documentation for the implementation, this could take anywhere from 2 to 6 man-hours, probably. Whoops. The business profile template completed. We have a script. I'm not showing you the script that you go through. A project manager sits down with a new client. Hi, Mr. Client. How are you doing today? This is the first meeting. Here's all the questions that I'm going to ask you. What's your name? What's your blood type? When were you born? You know, all of those questions, we have a document that my project managers follow with. And of course, all my students, they get access to this document, my paying students. You know, and then the business profile template that we talked about and the, you know, the different things that go along with it. Conduct the inventory of assets. This is key. Again, I just want to remind you guys, this one step here, I think, is the most important step in new client implementation, and it is far, far, far often missed. Remember, if you had 8 hours to chop down a tree, spend 6 sharpening your axe. That's what this is all about. And, you know, month one, what we're going to do, and you know, the different providers my project managers follow, set up their social channels right here, those social channels, set up their blog, create the review cards, and implement the review acquisition strategy. Whew. I got through it. Oh, crud. We're having mic problems.
All right, well, is the mic still choppy? I wonder how long that was going on for. Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry it was choppy. I wish I could see what time that was, how long it's been going on. Anyhow, I just took off my headset. I have this brand new, nice Logitech Bluetooth headset, and it's great. It's just, for some reason, the Bluetooth seems to be slow. I don't know. All right. Any questions thus far? All right. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about our membership here. Obviously, this is where we make our profit. Yes, this is the sales pitch. So if you guys want to jump off, you don't want to hear the sales pitch, that's fine. but I've got some more free giveaways after it. I'm really only asking for 5 minutes of your time. It's like a disservice, I think. I went to Best Buy once to buy a camera, and I told the guy my budget's $700, but I want these items in my camera. And then he started showing me $300 and $400 solutions $500 and $600 cameras that didn't have the features I wanted. I said, well, how come you're not showing me a camera that has the features I want? He said, well, because you told me you had this budget. I said, but I also told you I needed a camera for these purposes. Maybe I was wrong in my budget. It's your fault for not identifying that and not showing me what you had to solve my needs. Well, that's what this is about here at Local Marketing Source. Is we've got everything you need to build and grow your business. All of those documents and hand-holding step by step. We've got over 100 different videos of training on each of these different specific steps. I think I covered about 7 or 8 different videos here of details that I just don't have the time for. And you get access to a private Facebook group where you can go and ask a variety of different questions. We have a very active group. I'll show you that in a moment. We do weekly calls. And actually, I have a call today at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock Eastern time. I do it once a week. I love doing them. People get in and ask some questions. And our students are awesome. They like to put themselves in hot seats and tell us about the problems that they've had. I can think about, a student like Josh Nelson. Real legitimate guy. Works out of Florida. He's now teaching stuff himself. His business is $2.5 million. He started it 3 years ago. He didn't buy any other training other than Local Marketing Source. And he's still a paying member to this day. He feels indebted to us. But we gave him everything that he needs to get it up and running. You also get the support that's with it. I'll show you some of the back-end support. And of course, we have fresh content that comes out regularly. This is my passion. I do a lot of research and training, and I go to the events and come back and try to share that information with you. So you guys are building a business here to put food on your table and take vacations, right? It's a pretty serious endeavor. And for those people that don't treat their business like do it right, are never going to be successful. It's as simple as that. Now, with some of this content and some of this education, here's just, the amount of content that you get is ridiculous. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you the back-end portal here, because what we've created here is what I believe is the most lucrative opportunity for a agency business owner to get in. I do this stuff every single day, inside and out. And I put a lot of time and effort into building this environment for students. So, for example, when you get in here, build your business. Here's all the different videos that we have in training on, how to acquire new clients. Business basics. The local SEO stuff that we talked about today, is all in here with a lot more content. When I go and just look at, here's all the different videos on just local SEO. I had mentioned citations, what they are, the sources of all the citations, the action plans for all the citations and whatnot. And that's just one little aspect, whether it's video marketing and whatnot. But more importantly, the resource directory here, and we can go and check out, say, the operations resources. We've got sales resources, proposal templates, contracts, all that stuff. We're talking about operations today. Let's go into the operations. Here's your Google local checklist. Here's your on the page checklists of all the stuff that we were talking about today. Templates, privacy policies, email swipe files to help market yourself, the inventory of assets, research, email marketing, stuff we didn't talk about. So all the different documents that I use internally inside my document our company are all available here. And then for LMS members, we can click on the Facebook group and go and look at that. You get a list of all the calls, webinars. Every single week we do calls, and they're uploaded. And the interviews and hot seats are pretty awesome. I was talking about Josh Nelson, right? He's so good. We've interviewed him twice. Actually, this one here is probably one of my favorites. It's Scott Meadows. Scott actually came and visited me. And Scott's he's got an awesome business now. He's out of South Carolina. So yeah, we brought that in. And in the Facebook group, I had mentioned that, when we get in here, what's going on today? Well, speaking of Scott, there's something that he just posted. Chat. He's talking about chat services, CRM stuff that's being discussed. Eric, I'm officially launching my agency full time. Other people popping in. So it's an awesome, awesome, awesome community. Thanks, Jamie and Tim, for letting me know how bad the audio was out. I hear it was, well, people are saying anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes, so that's okay. All right, so let me get back to this here. So that's our portal. Yes, we're going to listen to a video of some of our students. This video, I think, is 90 seconds long, 60 seconds.
Client after client after client since then, and now I have not even advertised myself. All my business now is referral business.
What I liked about Scott is real solid principles for an ongoing business.
I have the course in my hands physically for about 2 weeks, and already I've booked 2 clients from just using the information in module 1.
I had 5 clients, and that allowed me to quit my job.
I was able to go out and get my first client within the first few weeks.
Because I'm only on module 2, but I only needed up to module 2 to get going. And the thing that I got from Scott was you don't need to learn everything straight away. The most important thing to do is to go out and get your first client.
And so Scott's course really gave me that confidence.
It's pretty awesome, man. I get goosebumps every time I hear that. This is why I do what I do. I've always known that I'm a servant, and I'm a servant to society. I'm here to serve, and that's what I get my greatest gratification from in life. And with Local Marketing Source, it is not the bread and butter that funds my bank account. I spend 20% of my time a week on it, but Wednesdays are the greatest day I've got. I get the greatest fulfillment from it. I've got the greatest energy. And so it's amazing to hear some of these people. But the question really is, guys, like, if you're serious about making money from local businesses, how much value is it to you to have access to people that have built million-dollar businesses before, to have access to all the red tape, and to have a hand that is held as you walk through each specific client? Our core competencies, if you haven't figured it out at Local Marketing Source, are number 1, how to get customers. I've been doing business-to-business sales for 22 years, and I'm good at it. And I know the process extremely well. I know what works and how to get in the door for every one of these. And I'll tell you, it's not as easy as you think it is, but it's actually a lot easier than you may think it might be. We've got some offline mailing campaigns, guys, that are through the roof. And then you tie that into autoresponders. I've got a full 6-month autoresponder that we give our students. It's just blah, blah, blah. What's this worth to you? I mean, I spent $50,000 on getting my degree. I got my degree so I could have some education and go to an employer and say, hey, give me some of your jobs so I can make some money, so I can go out and get drunk, and I can go out on dates and have a lot of fun. I spent $50,000 on this education. So now I'm talking about not just school education, guys. You don't walk out with a university degree and know exactly how to make money. What's it worth to you? Probably worth $50,000 to some people. I could get Josh on the phone right now and say, how valuable is my training to you? You are now billing $178,000 a month. You have 95 clients. Your company is doing $2.5 million a year. You've got 20 employees. You're just growing. And 3 years ago, Josh, you were working full time. I gave you education, and now you were taking vacations every weekend. I see that we're friends, and you've got a new son, and you were just at Disney World last weekend. What is this education worth to him? It's probably worth $100,000 to him, if not more. So we give you all the different support that you need. Guys, I want you to be successful. It's as simple as that, okay? You want my phone number, my cell number, you want my email address, you got it all. I am here to help people make a better life for themselves. It's as simple as that. So what are you going to pay for this? And why would you not jump on it right now? How many people have I lost in my sales pitch? Wow, 0. Not one. I swear to God to you right now. Nobody has jumped off of my sales pitch. So I should have every one of you people that aren't members give this a shot if you're serious about this business. Because if you're not, yeah, you know you're going to get the bonuses here. When you buy today, I'm going to give you a free 30-minute one-on-one when you get it. That gives you a plan of action, and we look at it and where you're at and what are the best things for you. I'll give you a copy of my book, a hard copy of the book. Real. You can hear it. This is it right here. I'll sign it for you. Whatever. You know, forget these bonuses, guys. Bonuses are a joke. Don't buy because you're getting the bonuses today. I just know that I've been taught that you always put a bonus in there. Whatever. The real value is going to be in the community and the hand holding. So, what? $97 a month? With a 30-day money-back guarantee? What? Really? Guys, give me $100 today of your money. Get into my portal. Go and look at all these documents that you just got. Download the documents that you looked at today. And if these documents don't work for you in 2 weeks from now, get your money back. It's kind of a slime ball move, but I don't care because I want people to pay me money so I can help them grow their business. I don't want people to pay me money to sit on their ass and not do anything. Get your money back if you're going to sit on your ass. Serious. I want an active community. My Facebook group is ridiculously active. My calls, we have a super high attendance rate and a very high engagement rate. It's got to be that way. I'm not an information marketer going for quantity of content. I'm going for quality of content. And you say, okay, $97 a month. We used to sell this course for $2,000, and we moved to the $97 a month model. I'll be honest with you. I felt it devalued everything. But the fact of the matter is my student value has gone up. We're keeping students for a long time, which is great because we get money every single month from these students. But they're getting value from us. And they're putting us in a position on a monthly basis that I've got to constantly engage with my audience. And I got to show my students every single month that they're getting their money's worth, or they're going to cancel on me because there's no contract. So if you buy today, I'll give you your money back if you don't like it. Of course, I'm also going to give you the link to the fundamentals course in a moment. But there's the link to the membership. If nobody's dropped now, I'm doing some hard closes here. I'm not really a hard closer type of guy. And I lost 2 people. That's why I don't like hard closes. So there's the information, guys. This right here is the membership. Write that down. Go and get the membership. Right here is a link to the free course that we've got. It gets you into the portal. You don't get any documents with it. And I think there's 7 or 8 other videos that you get access to. So it's a little teaser. If you don't have the money in your bank account today or your credit card, then sign up here. But this is where you really want to be. You really want to get into the membership and at least check it out. It's kind of, if you're on my list and you're coming and watching this stuff and you haven't tried this out yet, just unsubscribe from my list. And then here's a little freebie. This is just a download document here. Hang on. The computer's acting really funny. Where were we? There's my link. I want new students. Okay, so I'll leave that up. And I'm going to open the floor to some questions. Yeah, I apologize for the audio, guys. I've got rid of that wireless headset. Oh, I really want that to work. I like walking around and being... I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll use my lavalier. Susan's asking, will you be making available to us the documents reviewed in the presentation? No, I won't be. You can become a member and go and download those documents today. Ronnie, is this going to have a replay? Not sure at this point in time. It is being recorded. Michael, this is an awesome question, dude. Thank you for asking. He says, are your project managers in office or remote? Remote. How long does it take to train them? How long does it take a project manager, or how long does a project manager spend each month to service an average client? Thank you. Great, great question. My project managers are in-house. Never will I outsource project management. There's a variety of different tasks I'll talk about that are outsourced. But as a project manager or a client manager, this is somebody that speaks with the clients. They speak voice with the client at least once a week, sometimes several times a day. That client calls us up and we're highly engaged with our clients. That project manager manages our citation resource individual. So I have somebody specifically set out that does citations all day long for a variety of clients. Project managers are assigned to specific clients. And then they could utilize the resources that they need to get that job done. I have a writer. She's got four people under her that write, and she's responsible for the content that they write. But my project manager gets content from them. I've got a developer that's outsourced, graphic artist that's outsourced, and video and graphic arts have been in-house before, and I'm moving towards that. I'm looking for a video person right now. So project managers and salespeople are in-house. People that do the work will outsource it. But as you can see, some of the citation management requires the project manager's intelligence. And again, they've got to be in-house for that. I will never outsource that job. Okay, good point. Roger's saying, you know, Scott, it'd be smart for you to write the link out. No, he didn't say that. But he said, can you write the link out on the control panel so I can copy and paste it? You should have said, Scott, it would be very smart for you to copy and paste it into the control panel box. So I can copy and paste it, and so can the others, and make it easier for them to convert and get your membership. But thank you, Roger, for being polite. I am not the smartest guy around. And I'm proud to say that, because I hire people that are smarter than me. If I was the smartest, then I couldn't hire people smarter than me, could I? Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie says, are these outsourced managers ours to use as well for a fee? Of course. I'm not, okay. My project managers are my employees, and they're inside my office. They're not available for use. Something I don't promote, but for local marketing source students only, my company does provide a white label service, meaning we will deliver the service for you for a fee, of course. However, these outsourced positions that I talk about, my writer, my citations, my developers, my graphic people, I am more than happy to share their information to local marketing source students. I am not going to share their contact information to my public audience. The last thing I want, I've been in this business for 10 years. It's taken me a long time to find out the right people to work with and build those relationships. I've got years of relationships with these people, and I constantly try new people just to keep their backs against the wall. And I've got some amazing outsourcers right now. I am not going to tell my public audience who those people are, but I absolutely tell all my students if they ask for a resource. They say, hey, can we use this? Every single one of those people, I will commit to LMS students for no fee, nothing. I have no relationship with any of my suppliers that I get any type of feedback at all. Zero feedback, not involved in the equation. You pay them directly. I'm more than happy. Okay, I was still getting some questions here. My bad. Michael was asking some good stuff. Now Tim is asking the same question. Tim just asked, how many clients do your PMs typically service at once? Anywhere from 10 to 20 maximum. But it's more so, I mean, the sweet spot is 10 to 12 clients per month for each project manager. Michael's asking, how long does it take to train them? Well, I don't know, man. I mean, they sit in on my weekly calls, and I feel like I'm teaching them something new every single week. Whether it's down, 2 years down the road. But the fact is they can run on their own after a couple of weeks. I mean, it's not a lot of the learning really comes in the actual execution of it. Like, okay, great, Scott. I learned some theory about duplicate listings. I know I got to get rid of duplicate listings on Google. I know that you've given me a link and some steps on how to do it, but I've never done it before. So the first time that they go to remove a duplicate listing from Google is going to take them twice as long as they would the first time. Well, at what point in time do you call them actually trained? So within 2 weeks, somebody could be up and running on their own. After 6 months, they should be taking initiative on their own. So I hope that helps a little bit. And then you ask, how long does a project manager spend each month to service an average client? Anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a month the project manager is actually spending on the account. And each account gets about 40 hours a month of man hours. 40 to 60 hours a month of man hours is what we put forward to that. Internally, the project manager, like I said, 10 to 20 maximum. But if you've got a project manager that's managing 10 clients and they're putting in 10 hours per client, that's 100 hours a month. And your project manager has 160 hours to play with per month. Roger is saying, oh, Roger just bought into the program. Oh, that's nice, buddy. But he's got to run. Well, come say hi in the Facebook group, okay, guys? When you do get in, give us a day to process this, and just come in and say hello. It's amazing how many people don't say hello and just sit out there. God, it amazes me sometimes. I got students I've never spoken to, and we reach out to them every once in a while. Hey, you still getting value from the program? Never spoken to you. And yeah, they say they're happy and they move on. More questions, guys? Let's see if I have any hands that are up. I like talking to people. Now I'm just looking through some of the names. Names are so neat. Some of the way people spell some of their names. And we have 3 different Mikes. Michael's different spelling of Michael alone. Funny. Do you guys ever get on webinars and use the name of the actual host? Nobody's ever done that. And I think that's funny because I've done that before, and it messes with. All right. Awesome. We got a hand that's up. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute Tobechi. Well, I can't pronounce that. But you're unmuted now.
Okay. From my end, I'm from Nigeria.
Awesome.
And I'm from Nigeria. I'm Tobechi calling from Nigeria.
Well, welcome, man, for being on the call. That's great.
Okay. I want to find out. I only have a high school certificate. I messed up most of my life and things like that. But I want to find out how easy, because it's kind of scary doing this, but I'm ready to give it a shot. I am going to register like next week. That's on me. But it's a bit. Can a high school person do this?
Well,
or must I have a degree?
Okay, man. Yeah. I'm a Canadian and I live in the United States. And when I moved here, I couldn't get a job here, so I had to start my own business. And ever since starting my own business, one thing I've learned is I've met a lot of other business owners in the United States. And more than half the business owners that are successful in this country don't have any college or university education. A lot of them are high school dropouts. It's a very common thing. My business partner with Naparex that I showed you, my business partner there, he runs his other company is a $50 million delivery company. Okay. He was a marijuana dealer in high school and dropped out at 11th grade. He had hair down to his butt, and that's all he did was push dope. He's a weed dealer, drug dealer, and never got education, and now he's running a $50 million company. As far as education, I have a university degree, and I think I wasted my money. I'm not a big fan of post-secondary education, especially in the United States. There are certain things that I think post-secondary is important for, but absolutely not for business application. As far as you messing up all your life, man, one of my favorite expressions is we all make the same face in the shitter. We're all human beings that have red blood, and we all make mistakes. And there's nothing wrong with making mistakes in life. And I'm just saying, dude, don't label yourself like that. You've already put yourself a step back. what I want to encourage you, Pabechi, is to look at yourself in the mirror when you get off this call and go and look at it and say, who is Tabechi? What can I do? Dude, you can change this world if you've got the mentality to put there. Don't set yourself up for failure and saying right off the bat, you know, can I do? Of course you can do this. You can do anything you really put your mind to it. And put yourself and center yourself around successful people. Okay. That's only going to better yourself. If you're going to pull the trigger on this course next week, please, as soon as you get in, say hello and give it the evaluation of 30 days. Are we going to be able to help you out? But I have the full confidence, and I know unequivocally, 100% without a shadow of a doubt, that when I hire people, I no longer am that concerned about experience or education. It's passion. I think passion is the greatest asset that we could have, and then of course a work ethic. So if you're willing to work hard and you really, really inside want to make this work, then you've got everything you need to make it work.
I'm already into web development. I've got a few clients, knowing that SEO sometimes could be a little bit challenging, though it does work here. It's actually a global phenomenon. It does work here. I've gotten some results, but somehow the lack of degree sometimes scares me. Because I do have I've got some clients in construction companies. Construction companies here in Nigeria sometimes don't really have offices. Some construction businesses rather, they don't really have offices. They are actually based on the field. I have gotten them, websites that have actually gotten them, exposure and close some, some businesses. But the thing is, most times some of the prospects I get are, graduates, and I do get the chills sometimes when I'm trying to get. That's why I asked if I could actually do this. That was all. Thank you very much. I understand. You've helped me a great deal. Thank you for the encouragement. I definitely will sign up.
Well, thank you very much for getting on the line and giving me an hour of your time today. I really appreciate that, and I look forward to speaking with you next week when you do come aboard to Betchy. Make sure you come and say hi to me. We've never had a student in Nigeria before, and I'd be pretty excited to help you become successful and take claim. All right?
All right, sir.
We will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
All right. Bye.
Okay, Tobechi is now muted. That's pretty cool. I got his name pronounced properly, I think. I'm not even going to try his last name, though. Well, I don't have any more questions, guys. Nobody with their hands up. Susan, Susan says here, she says, I'm a student of yours, and I'm unable to find the quarterly plan of action and operation starter list. Please advise. Susan, I'm going to post something in the Facebook group. The reason for that is we're going through some changes at Local Marketing Source, and we're rebranding some of our content. And so that content is there inside the portal. It's just actually got a different name to it. And I'm putting together content now for LMS students that is going to go over some of all these new brands and new names and stuff like that. They're not new documents. It is the same stuff that we've been utilizing. So on that note, in the Facebook group, I'll post links to the new revised documents, the ones that you saw today, and those are also because those are the ones I've been using inside my company. Yeah, Michael's saying, to get started, if I can't afford project managers, do you suggest doing it all by yourself? Yeah, absolutely. And then you're going to set up your outsourcing channels, but you're the project manager in the beginning stages, and you can run and grow your business. And And when I give you those names for project managers, the fact is, Michael, if I'm doing it, I cut all those times in half because I'm about twice as efficient than anybody else that's ever worked for me. Why? Because it's my company. That's just the way it works. So you're going to be twice as efficient as anybody you hire. And you could easily manage 5 to 10 clients while growing your business and still doing sales, working 40 to 50 hours a week. And by the time you get to 5 or 6 clients, 7 or 8 clients, you could be at the $10,000 a month mark. At the $5,000 a month mark is really the threshold before you would want to hire somebody. But you could push it all the way to 10 grand a month. We actually have a program, Michael, internally. We have another product called our sales kit. If you become a member, you get the sales kit. The sales kit itself sells for $100. It's one time though. It's not monthly. And in that sales kit, I've got a challenge, and it's called our 90-day $10,000 challenge. And we've had students that have created $10,000 a month in recurring revenue every single month in their first 90 days. It's possible. Hard as hell, but it's possible. That challenge is also a step-by-step. I tell you exactly the right niches to look after, how many prospects you need to have in your sales funnel, at what stage those prospects have to be to swindle them down, to look at what we call the conversion ratios. And when those numbers are in place or met, you're gonna achieve your goals. So it's just a matter of getting enough activity in the front end to get it spit out in the back end. But you get access to all that. Austin's asking, Scott, in order to make this a good monthly money, what is the minimum to charge a client? We don't charge anything less than $1,000 a month. And I was just talking to a prospect yesterday, a chiropractor that reached out to me, and he's like, wow, this all sounds good, but are you going to be like one of those companies that charges a ridiculous amounts of money per month, like $400 or $500 a month? I said, sir, we're not one of those companies that charges a ridiculous amounts at $400 or $500 a month. I won't do business with you if it's anything less than $1,000 a month. And he goes, holy shit. He says, that's ridiculous. I said, well, let's put it this perspective. And then I started to go through our sales pitch to identify that, hey, you can't look at this as an expense. This is an investment. And the fact of the matter is you've got to get a return on your investment. And if you don't get a return on your investment, then our relationship should have never started. But if I can continually show you a return on investment, then you're going to pay me that monthly fee month after month and month. And I've got clients that have been paying me for 5 years. Trust me, doctor, I want you paying me $1,000 a month for 5 years. I want 60 grand from you. But I've got to show you that return. Now, there's a few statistics, Doc, that I know. I know that the average patient value, according to the American Chiropractic Association, is between $300 and $2,400 per year. Let's assume the average patient value is $1,300 per annum. Could you agree with that? Yes. All right. On that note, I also know that your margins run anywhere from 50 to 70% profit. Let's assume your overhead is rather high for the industry and you're running a 50% profit margin. In that case, based off of the patient value and the margins that are involved, I have to get you a minimum of 1.5 patients per week. I know that being in spot number 1 in your town is a population of 400,000 people. You live in Bakersfield, California. There are over 100 different chiropractors that operate in that town. But within a 5-mile radius, you've got 37 chiropractors that show up. Only one can be in spot number 1 that's going to get 40% of the click-through rate. I know if I don't get you in number 1, you fire my ass right away. I also know that in spot number 1, based off of the metrics of the activity that's there and standard conversion rates based off of your profile, that you're going to be getting anywhere from 7 to 9 patients per week. With that patient value, I am going to show you a profit margin clear in the goal of $7,000 per month. And you're trying to tell me that $1,000 a month is expensive? Do you really think $1,000 a month, Doc, is expensive to make $7,000 a month? If you think that that's expensive, then tell me the name of your competitor, because I'm going to call him up. But do you want a proposal from me? Because that's what I'm going to do for you. You're getting me passionate, Austin. I'm doing a little bit of role play here. But yeah, charge $1,000 minimum. Josh Nelson, he charges a minimum of $1,800 a month to plumbers. And he's got over, he might have hit 100 plumbers now, but last time I heard he was at 93 clients. Do the math, man. 93 clients paying $1,800 a month. Can you imagine getting $200,000 a month? Like he's profiting $40,000 a month in his company. Profiting. That'd be nice. All right. No more questions, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this call. I'm starting to lose some people on the line.
Thanks for watching the Local Marketing Industry Update. We've got these things coming out every single week. So if you liked with what you heard, just click the button right above me right here to subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to get a little bit more, right over here, go check out localmarketingsource.com. We've got free reports that you can grab. You can even register for our free marketing course to get in and see the portal. Or just go ahead and follow us on some of the social channels. We'll be around. Until next time.